If I started talking about pit bulls, you'd probably think pit bulls: mean, aggressive, and likely to attack if provoked. Commonly used as fighting ring dogs, pit bulls should be banned, right? Wrong. While pit bulls are commonly used in dog fighting rings, that does not make the breed inherently aggressive or unsafe to be around. Pit bulls in loving environments are extremely energetic and great family dogs. The reputation of pit bulls is unfair, and rather than banning them completely, the focus should be on proper training and care of both, not just these animals, but animals in general. Statistics regarding pit bulls are often extremely inaccurate. According to National Geographic, the title pit bull has expanded so dramatically over the years that any dog that has a large head and short fur is termed a pit bull, rather than separating them into their individual breeds. This has inflated a lot of statistics regarding pit bulls that make them sound a lot worse than they are, because really it's a ton of different breeds having these problems rather than just a golden retriever or just a lab or something like that. From 2005 to 2015, pit bulls killed 232 Americans, but 80% of those, there were 4 or more significant factors related to the care or control of the dog. These dogs were not socialized, they had not been spayed or neutered, they were in environments where they felt unsafe, and had absolutely no relationship to the person that was killed. This creates a perfect storm of dogs that are going to attack rather than dogs that feel safe in new environments. And it was not so much that the dogs were mean and aggressive as they were mistreated and abused. This data shows that the story behind pit bulls' aggressiveness is not entirely true. They are not inherently aggressive. While the certain dogs bred for dogfighting in those dogfighting rings those dogs are very coveted, very expensive, and bred selectively in this group. And banning the pit bulls doesn't really get rid of those dogs because their owners are already running illegal dogfighting rings. A ban on pit bulls is not going to stop them, nor is that dog going to be the one that you pick up at the shelter. Just because they are large and strong, that does not make pit bulls inherently mean. There are a lot of other dog breeds that are just as big and just as strong, but because they are covered in longer, fluffier fur, a lot of times they'll be assumed to be really nice, when really they're not all that different in body composition to a pit bull. Pit bulls can also be very cuddly and very loving when they're in a good environment. This is shown a lot of times with pit bulls in families, and so those pit bulls absolutely love the children in their house and would do anything for them. And this video I'm going to show you really demonstrates that, because these pit bulls really love their families.
Good girl, Corey. You gonna give her a kiss? Oh.
Pit bulls that are well cared for are amazing dogs that any owner would be lucky to have, and banning them is unfair both to the dogs and to the humans that are missing out on these incredible animals. Rather than banning pit bulls, emphasizing proper care of all dogs, especially pit bulls, would be a lot more effective. All dogs need to be properly socialized and trained to avoid any aggressiveness, according to the tilt. For pit bulls, positive reinforcement is the most effective way to train dogs, because they're really eager to please their owners, which is why sometimes they can get into trouble, because if the owners want them to do something mean, well, they want to please their owners, so they might do it. But if you train them and positively reinforce them when they're young, they're not likely to be aggressive. And properly socializing them and making sure the dogs are in all different types of situations with all different stimulus when they're puppies will lead them to being a lot less aggressive down the line, because they'll not get as scared in those types of situations. The other thing to do with pit bulls is to make sure that they're either spayed or neutered. Unneutered dogs are a lot more aggressive because they want to assert their dominance, and considering most people do not want to have puppies and deal with taking care of those, if they are not breeders that want to breed pit bulls or anything like that, it's really important to get those dogs spayed and neutered, because it'll be a lot safer for everyone if they are. A well cared for and happy dog is not likely to be a problem. If the problem then is with the owners and how the owners have raised and treated the dogs, the ban shouldn't make the dogs illegal, but rather there should be harsher penalties for owners who are mistreating their dogs. This would solve the problem a lot more effectively than just making the dogs illegal. Pit bulls fill the shelters because they're illegal in so many areas, including my own. And loving, sweet dogs are stuck in these shelters because most people coming through the doors are not able to adopt them because they are illegal where they live. As you can see, all dogs need proper care to grow up happy and well-adjusted. You can't leave a dog chained up to a fence all day and expect them not to be aggressive and scared. Pit bulls are banned in 77 cities in Kansas, according to dogsbite.org. This has led to area shelters being stocked full of pit bulls that cannot be adopted. The stigma surrounding pit bulls is unfair, and the facts are often extremely over-exaggerated. When loved and trained properly, pit bulls are wonderful family dogs that care for everyone around them, a far cry from their aggressive stereotype. Pit bulls are aggressive when they're raised to be that way. So why are the dogs being punished rather than the people who made them the way that they are? These are wonderful, happy dogs left without homes due to these bans. It is time for the laws to end. The dogs do not deserve it.